her or not.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. Guys, is it back? Let's see if it's working. Ha ha ha! This cover is hilarious. Let's see if people are still here. Watching now. Does it look good? What we do? How we do? Who we do? It's not popping up. Okay. Oh, y'all saying yes. All right. Okay. So guys, I did a previous live right before this, before my battery about to die. Shout out to Tanisha for you being you out there being my assistant, sis. I appreciate you. Girl, I was on live for a whole 27 minutes. Why? Where you been? All right. Change the battery out. We're going to keep this video up. We'll probably do this for like a good 20-30 minutes. So the best way for me to see your question, you don't have to donate a large sum, but you drop a coin, drop $1 or $2 in, and your questions will populate on the side because this chat is moving a little bit fast because, you know, we're having a key, all right? While I drink my kale smoothie because digestion. Yeah, shout out to Smart Brown Girls and Boys. Can you even see my shirt? This is a Smart Brown Girl shirt. Black women are valuable. My sister-in-law did the artwork for it. It's Nina Simone, Audre Lorde, and Ava DuVernay. I get stalked a lot by white people about this shirt. It's so funny. White people are always like, I'm trying to figure out who was on your shirt, and they be missing. Girl, somebody said Aretha Franklin, and I said, where? Oh, man. All right, folks are back in. I like Rico Nasty aesthetically, and I like what she does. Sonically, I don't have that much rage in my spirit right now. So do I listen to Rico? But that Tia and Tamara, that's my jam. Yes. Okay. Casilda Florent is you Haitian, sis? Hey Jouelzy, do you feel some people see you as less credible because of your belief in astrology? Always wondered what your moon sign is, and I've been watching you since high school. Well, thank you, love. I have a whole video. It is old, and you know what? I'll post it on the community tab sometime this weekend and re-up because I do discuss. My whole chart is discussed with my astrologer. The video is from like 4 years ago, and Sam is still my astrologer. I just had a call with him last month. My moon sign is in Taurus. I'm an Aries sun, Gemini rising, moon Taurus. And no, I don't think, because I'm not hokey about it, and I do talk a lot about needing to get a whole chart reading. I've never had someone tell me that I wasn't making sense, or people coming at me, because I think I reference a lot about the books I read. I think people get a good understanding, even when they're trying to shade me, that a lot of the way I think and view comes because of how much I read. Stephanie Dawson, what are your thoughts on Layla Rashawn's husband and Eddie Murphy's ex-wife? I didn't do a video on this because I thought Kim from For Harriet did the exact topic that I kind of would have discussed in this. I think it's very unfair for people to castrate Layla Rashawn. I think it's even unfair that we're talking a lot about Nicole Murphy and we're not talking what's Antoine Fuqua? What's that nigga name? I don't even think we're talking enough about the dude who already had a baby on her, and the way that we prop up men to be such nefarious cheaters. Yes. Did you have a call with Sam, Tanisha? Did I give up dating via the apps? How did I get comfortable being solo? And Janae Kelly is an Aquarius, and she thinks I don't care for y'all. I think Aquarians are simps, but my entire family is Aquarian. My mother, my brother, and my sister. My sister's January 31st. My mom is February 4th, and my brother's February 6th. That's my whole family. And I always have a good Judy. Actually, my two closest friends, Leandra is January 25th, and Obaze is February 14th, and those my niggas for life. I ride or die. You know, my homeboy Obaze, I was on the phone with him not recently, but a couple weeks ago. Mind you, I need to text that nigga because he had surgery. And I was like, I love you. Like, I hung up the, like, you know, in the call, I'm like, I love you. He kind of chuckled. Because who says that? Especially to, like, their opposite sex friends. But no, I like, for real, for real. I fucking love you. So I'm just like, Aquarians. What was the other part of the question? Did I answer it? How did I give up dating apps? Did I give up dating via the apps? No, I didn't give up dating via the apps, but I think I just changed. Look, when it came for me in dating and being on apps, I never was on Tinder looking for a relationship. Tinder was like, I'm bored. Like when I moved to Charlotte, I didn't have no furniture in my apartment. It was because I moved in the middle of the hurricane that almost hit Charlotte. And so like my stuff was delayed. And I hopped on the app because I wanted to go on some more dates. I use it as a way when I'm traveling to meet other people. And so I think socially, it's cool. Ooh, it's saying my stream isn't currently live, so I can't. Wow, I can't play no ads. The shade. But getting comfortable being solo, I think this idea of singlehood. The statistics show that women who are single are much more social. So being single does not mean that I'm indebted to a life of loneliness. And actually, Miles, known as House Mother on Twitter, I think the Eartha Kitt, that video where she's talking about dating or whatever, was like, you know, he had talked about the loneliness that comes with kind of this theology that she was espousing in the video. And, you know, I started thinking, okay, well, what makes life lonely, right? Is it that we center so much of our life pursuit around ending up with one singular partner and that we devalue the rest of our relationships? And I've read books that discuss this, as in Ain't I a Feminist by Aronette White, or Politics of Parenthood, and some other stuff. Like, you know, they randomly kind of hit on this idea that, like, actually particularly single women who will put more stock into having a good social circle and friendships. And what you do see happen is, do we not talk about how, like, when people who've been married for a long time and their partner passes away and how they're super lonely because they don't know nobody else? That's a thing too. So I think when we think about being single or solo, it is not that we're going to be lonely or that we're only with ourselves. It is that we have to think about, outside of dating, what other relationships are valuable to our lives, and how are we participating, and how are we treating those relationships, and how are we valuing them? Okay. Dekethr, great. Dektha? Is that how you say Dektha great? Am I saying that wrong? Deke the Great? Girl, correct me if I'm wrong. How did you work on growing emotionally? I get this question a lot, and I feel like I touch on it a lot. But maybe that's a video to do. Let me write a note down. How to grow to be emotionally mature. What's that? Oh, notes on the book club. How? There is not a precise way to go about it. But I think journaling is good. Listening to Esther Perel and Brene Brown, Let the White Women Snatch Your Edges. Committing to a will to do better and be a better person. And again, I keep, this is a big key. It's a major key. What relationships do I currently have in my life? How am I treating and valuing those relationships? Can they be better? Are there things that I can do to make the relationships better? When I was living in Houston, I hit all my family up and said, hey, I'm going to put effort in to being a better daughter and being a better sister because I would like us to be closer. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone put the equal effort that I put into it, but I put the effort into it. I gave it some time. I came to better understandings. My relationship, particularly with my sister, got a lot better. And I realized the dynamics that were happening and where I could do better, where I could fall back, where they could do better, and allowing that to help me to come to a better understanding and being a more emotionally mature person. Also, working on your vulnerability is a big deal. Alicia Hill. Hey, Jouelzy, love your channel. Thanks, Bill. Love all y'all too. How did you grow to be more content in yourself during your single season? Also, what's the biggest lesson you learned in your 20s? I think being more content in my single season was, what did I want out of life, regardless of a partner? And I just don't believe in promoting the idea of centering your life around a partner. Not that you can't strive for it, but I do think when you are good, other things fall into place. And dating becomes a lot easier. So being more content in myself was, I did have to. Oh man, Mahogany Curls. We were having this conversation because I was going through it, and she was like, she keeps a jar of gratitude, and I think I talked about this on Instagram stories, but she's the one who told me, keep a jar, and every time you have a grateful thought, write it down and put it in the jar. And then when you're going through it, you take it back out. You do that in the journal. When I'm writing in my journal, and I could sit and write for days when I'm upset or I'm mad at something, but also making an effort to write when I'm grateful and what I'm grateful about who I am. I had to put work into talking higher about myself. Stop using negative language, even jokingly about myself. Stop, feeding into the negativity about me. Stop reading it. Stop looking it up. I had to, walk with the purpose and be, I think I do have the privilege of knowing what my purpose is, and I think that's a lot of, whether it's growing emotionally mature, whether it's how to partner with someone, whether it's being content with yourself. I think a lot of us are trying to figure out what is our purpose. And I don't have that answer for you. And honestly, when it comes to purpose, I think what I'm good at is that part of my purpose is that I'm allowed to be ubiquitous. And maybe I haven't been very clear with that message within Smart Brown Girl, that I started Smart Brown Girl because I was constantly getting shade for having so many interests and being told that I was less than because I wasn't focused on a singular thing. I did a video on this earlier, like years ago when I was living in DC, about my friends having an intervention with me because they felt like I wasn't focused. And so starting Smart Brown Girl as a way to encourage everyone to know that intelligence is within them, that you can define your own success story, and that you were allowed, I can read Anna Julia Cooper and talk about class analysis and racial structure and hierarchies and be a bad bitch with a plate of salmon. I can go to the strip club and eat chicken wings. I can enjoy watching Love and Hip Hop. I can, be well read and be well educated and pop my tongue at the top of my mouth. I can be invested in certain things that we denigrate Black women for, because that's culturally what I like, and it's a part of my culture, and I'm okay with that. But then I can also have these varied interests, and that I don't need to be defined by societal standards. And I think that's a big chunk of it. So what I mean when it comes to the passion thing is that, like, you don't have to have one singular passion, right? Like, my passion at large is the fact that I've gotten to a point where I can get other Black women to celebrate their ubiquity, to celebrate their vast amount of interest, and to pursue that and not feel like, oh, well, I went to school to be a nurse, so I can only be a nurse, and I have to project being a nurse in this very binary model of what it means to be, like, a good Black woman. Toya forgot her question last time, so she came back through. What up, sis? You're studying public health with a focus on Black sexuality with the intention of teaching sexual education. Any book suggestions on Black sexuality? Patricia Hill Collins. Like, all Black sexuality, Patricia Hill Collins. Great. Dorothy E. Roberts, Killing the Black Body. I have actually not Sadia Hartman. Sadiqua, is it Sadia? I think I'm saying that right. Saadiya Hartman, Artman. Oh man, the book is sitting on my shelf. It got a purple color. Joan Morgan. When Chicken Has Come Home to Roost. Wait for the book club, because that's when we in the Slack talking about that shit now. Hopefully we'll be able to launch a book club in the coming weeks. We're working on it. I have an itchy ear, and I'm always in my ear. It's so weird. Thank you, Amina, for the donation. I hope that was Patricia Hill Collins. You start there, and it really will. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, if you're studying, like, I feel like you have. You probably already know, but that would be my starting point. Everyone keeps asking about how the PhD is coming along. It's going along great. I studied a lot for I didn't study a lot for the MAT. I took a break on the writing, and I need to get back to writing at large, because I had really bad depression starting at the end of 2017. Well, is it end of 2017? Yeah, when did I do the law? Girl, life's been rough. But I stopped writing because part of the symptoms of my depression is that I was forgetting how to spell words. Girl. Woo, it was rough. So I stopped a lot of my writing, and I need to get back. I was literally on the phone earlier with a nigga talking about I need to write more. Like, I need to get back into the mode of writing. I need to get back in the mode. That's another video topic. How to find your passion. Y'all, someone DM me with notes after. You see how my mind just loses track? We can do do a glow up session, like a glow up week, theme of weeks, like how to grow emotionally mature, how to find your passion. What are other glow up questions? We could do the glow up theme, like a glow up, do it like a sermon, right? Like the pastor has a season of sermons. I'm about to have a season of content. We need to do better. But the PhD, I had stopped writing because I was studying for the MAT, which is like graduate level testing is so biased. It's so like favoring towards white folks and whatever. And the MAT is the most ridiculous of them all. Like ridiculous. But I did well. I scored in the 81 percentile, so I did decently. But I took that test like 3 weeks ago, and I need to finish my lit review. And I'm focusing my lit review on single black mothers in public housing. So if y'all have book suggestions, I don't have my book list right here with me. And the books are out on my little bookshelf by my desk. What am I reading? I read No Separate Ways by Christina Green about black women in public housing and their activism, right? Low income black women and activism and how they engaged in the civil rights and freedom struggle. And so I read No Separate Ways about the Durham black middle class. Sarah Haley's book on gendered racism. I can see the cover. I don't remember the title. I'm running a blank. Rhonda Williams and her book on public housing in Baltimore. Mary Frances Berry on constitutional racism. Lisa Levinstein. She's a book about poor black women activism in Philadelphia. And then I read Storming Caesar's Palace, which is about working poor black women in Las Vegas and their activism in the late 70s, early 80s. But if you have any other books that would go within this review, because I think I'm a little short. I think I need more content. And that's where I got stuck at. Yes, I really will answer questions if you drop coins. That's really what I've been doing. Did you not see that ticket? What's good? What is Her Supreme talking about, sis? Is you sober? Is you on something? What's happening? We aren't sharing. What aren't we sharing? I just read Spook by the Door. I'm so confused. How to decentralize romantic I think the word you're looking for is how to deprioritize intimate partnerships. Just deprioritize them. I have this range of relationships. I have friends. And think about what value do your friends add to your life and what value are you adding to their life? And just, it's like you're in a relationship, don't disappear. I'm in a relationship, I'm in a new city. I have to be very mindful that I still need to do work to build relationships here. So I will, when somebody crosses my mind, I text them. I say, hey, what's up? I think, being able to build relationships, do you have the financial means? Because money is a thing. And sometimes I don't hit people up because the money funny. Sometimes I'm busy right now. But I try to make, I've been hanging out. I keep saying, that the crew, I went to a pool party at Wesley's girlfriend house this past weekend. I made an effort and I made sure hey, we're not just going to do things that my partner has with his social group, but that I'm also, even though my social group is a little bit more new and the relationships aren't as solid, that I'm putting in the work to solidify those relationships. I have a dinner series with Ashley, with Rab. We're doing a dinner on Sunday night for her birthday. Just being more, and not saying, oh, well, I'm in a relationship, so I'm good. And, because I could totally be I'm gonna be up under this nigga the whole time. But also, be my homegirl disappeared for a couple months, and I had to, I sent this bitch flowers, called her, texted her, I'm about to pull up to her house on Tuesday. I know you depressed, but we spending time together. We could sit here and cry and boo-hoo about whatever you want to boo. Girl, no judgment. But I love you, nigga, and I'm here for you, and I don't want you ever to go through. And, just being that friend. I don't know. I guess I could do a video on how to deprioritize in partnership, but I'm just worried that if I title it that the comment section will turn into, you're trying to keep black women single. So there has to be another angle that I can approach that from. Oh, you're a NICU, NICU. Are you saying NICU as in NICU, or is that the college? That's the acronym for the college. And you're at a predominantly white Catholic school, and the material is hard to source at the library there. Yeah, Patricia Hill College. Literally, it's not my expertise, But I think if you start there, and you know what, because when I was first moved to Dallas, I was like, yo, I need to do more like foundational Black feminist reading. And one of her books I picked up, it's actually titled Black Sexuality Something Else. And you can go and all the other recommendations, like if you go on Amazon, and it'll recommend other books with it. So yeah. Oh, I just skipped over a whole lot of comments. Shout out for the CA too, but where's the y'all donating and not asking the questions? Oh, and then someone says NICU grad here. Okay, I just reading Marriages for White. I just finished reading Is Marriage for White People. Is that the name of a book? How to get a cute boyfriend with a personality. How do you define it as what do you define as cute? You know what I mean? Like, everyone has different tastes. So, like, how do you get someone that's within your taste range? I mean, I actually do think people often date aesthetically. They're equal. That's the thing. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Barbara came to my event in London last year and gifted me some badges. Hope you like them. Keep doing you, Jouelzy. I think I have them on my jacket. What badges did you give me? Which ones did you give me? I'm pretty sure I kept them and I have them pinned on my Army fatigue jacket. Thank you, love. I really appreciate it. All the books I've mentioned, I've definitely mentioned in book lists. Maybe not Patricia Hill Collins, but Sadia Hartman is definitely. If not, there's also a post on my Instagram, and I don't have that many pictures up on Instagram, of books, a stack of books. Let me go pull it up. It is from February 3rd. Joan Morgan, How We Get Free, Angela Davis, Bell Hooks, Deborah Gray White. Oh, Too Heavy a Load, I'm reading that for my lit review. Concrete Demands, lit review. Politics of Parenthood, Wrapped in Rainbows, Zora Hurston. Oh, okay, so Sadia Hartman's not in here. But whatever. These are all popular. I'm not naming things that are rare or hard to find. Literally, if you will find them if you start with Patricia Hill Collins or Sadia Hartman, who does more theory. Sex education. Oh, wait, I have another one. My homeboy sent this to me. Is it in my Goodreads? Is this Goodreads? No. What's this reader called? I have a PDF reader on my phone. Miller Young, A Taste for Brown Sugar, about Black sex workers or pornography workers, Black porn workers. I don't have a current travel destination because I'm trying to launch the podcast and the book club, and I need to redo my Patreon because I definitely need financial support in order to get all this stuff up because it's just expensive and I want to be able to pay everyone for their labor. And so I've already emptied out my savings account. That was stressful, but we're trying to find ways. I mean, KS hair only. I don't have a wig on me because I've been much better about cleaning my space and hanging everything up. But I have the KS hair only sale. I don't know how to insert cards into this, but that's there. It keeps saying my stream is not live. So I can't play no ads. That's just rude. All right. Gloriously Flawed. Thank you for the donation. Shout out to you. How do I feel about Virgo men? I've kissed a Virgo and it was probably like the worst kiss I've ever had. It was so horrible. It was just so fucking whack, bruh. But I don't think my personality generally matches with people with strong Virgo. Not that I don't have friends that are Virgo or that I haven't been able to collaborate with Virgos, but I think in a more like close, it's just an unequalness that doesn't, I'm good. I'm good, love, and joy. Okay. Sakina McCoy says, would you live abroad? I like being African American a lot. I like being part of the fight for better quality of life for Black Americans. And so not that I would never live abroad, because my favorite model of a household thus far, this family was white, but I had a homegirl. Her name was Barry and her brother's name was Milo. And I used to go to their parents' house and eat Thanksgiving dinner with these people. They were tall, the whites. They were all like over 6 feet. And but her parents were like they worked in advertising, saved all their money, had their kids in their late 30s, early 40s, moved to Amsterdam, put the kids in European boarding school, and traveled. And I just really loved their family dynamic. Like I really loved it. And so, I would like my kids to be well cultured and well traveled. So I don't ever see myself entirely leaving America because I'm committed to being a witness. But I'm not being facetious. But I really I do feel like a part of me, like every time I travel and I think, oh, I could live here, my first thought is, what about, and I hate that people because it's hypergamy discussion, have really tried to shame me about the struggle, but what about the struggle? And I want to do better. I want to build a legacy around improving the quality of life in my community, and I feel like living in other places permanently is me invoking my privilege, because living abroad as a Black American is largely for the privileged. And I think that I'm committed to living in the Southern United States, and I'm committed to always having a home here. I hope that was a sufficient answer. Why y'all retracting y'all comments when I live abroad? Why y'all deleting it? Wasn't nothing wrong with that. Thanks for all the knowledge you've given over the years. Thank you, Sydney, for riding with me. What's my opinion on Scorpios? Okay, this is the thing. Having a blanket opinion about a sign as a whole is abusive to astrology, right? You're misusing astrology. I could say whatever I want about Scorpios not being good communicators, about Scorpios being manipulative, but also, like, my partner's ascendant is Scorpio. So, like, he is very strong Scorpio, and we fine. We good. So, I don't want to, like have these blanket opinions. I think a person's chart matters. You could be double Scorpio. I might stay away from it. But if someone has other things that balance out the Scorpio-ness, and because Scorpios are also very intuitive, they know how to read people, they know how to get in people's heads, and there's a power in that, and there's a way to use it for good. But I can't abuse like the overall. I'm not gonna say, oh, I don't like Scorpios at all. Agnes Artis, thank you for the donation. Am I surprised with the violent xenophobia in South Africa? No, I'm not, because when I was in South Africa in 2015, I went to South Africa in March of 2015. The xenophobia, I was kind of surprised by. That was like, the xenophobia was bubbling over, and I think the xenophobia isn't simply because of, there's the complex, did it say my stream ended? Hold on, let me refresh this screen real quick. It's being shady. South Africa, though. Am I still streaming? I think I am. Someone tell K-Bit what sign I am. But, when I was in South Africa, it was already kind of bubbling over. And there's an issue. What's the large political party that Mandela and the current ruling class, whatever. The problem with South Africa is that apartheid ended, and then you got black leadership, but the white people still hold the wealth. It is very similar to America. There was a greater gap within within class stratification, and I think the poverty there is a little bit more destitute than America. But by all means, they're dealing with a lot of the same racial issues that we deal with here in the States. And as Frantz Fanon writes in The Wretched of the Earth, when the oppressed people, when their anger reaches a fever point, they turn inwards first, and they turn towards the others who are oppressed. So there is this belief in particular that people from surrounding countries are coming into the country and taking their job. Similar to here in America and how we're talking about immigrants, even though they're taking low wage. There's a whole lot happening, right? So it's wild that they would have xenophobia against countries that labored with them in the anti-apartheid movement. And there's also xenophobia towards Nigerians, who are everywhere because they're like the most populous African country in the world. Anytime you meet a black person in some far off place, they're Nigerian. But it's wild. it's interesting though, because I think the way immigration works for West African countries, and I don't want to single out Nigerians because there are Ghanaians and other countrymen, for countries that have relationships with America and they can access on some wavelength, even though there's a hierarchy, the American immigration system or even the European immigration system, I think there tends to be a hierarchy that is different for like a Zimbabwean than it is for a Nigerian on why they're in South Africa type thing. But that's just getting more into like the weeds of it. I think it's all unfortunate, but it is it's the part of like culture shifts, and hopefully, I don't know, man. I'm not super well versed on what's exactly happening right now, but I hope there is some sort of organized movement that can move out of this and move in the right direction. But yeah, that is France. I'm supposed to say France. I'm not France. I'm English. I do not have a British tongue. Thank you for the donations, Sakina, again. Well, you're so nice. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Sandra. Thank y'all. Y'all the shit and shit. How do I feel about the recent passing of Robert Mugabe in the most respectful way possible? That nigga looked like a McRib sandwich. All right. And as, oh man, Zoe on Twitter today was like, is there any young picture of Mugabe? Because like, and I was like, yo, it's true, because like the BBC, everyone was like doing his life in pictures, and like my man was born in 1925, and like the earliest picture is from his wedding to, what was his first wife's name, Sally, and he married her at like 40 something. Like, was this nigga ever young? What did he look like in his youth? He always looked like a McRib sandwich. Again, if you read, look, I've been mispronouncing all the words. Pedagogy of the Oppressed, any liberation theology, all talks about the how leaders within the liberation movement have to be careful of not becoming dictators, and that you have to allow the community, you have to allow the space for the community to figure out how they actually want to live. And it's tricky, and that's probably, I'm about to get into a whole bunch of like thoughts I have about liberation theology, and I think the holes that I haven't been able to fill in it. But that's my thoughts. He looks like a McRib sandwich. I'm trying to figure out where we at, because this conversation keep jumping. France Fanon is a problematic fave. You know, because all them niggas marry white women multiple times. But, you know, get it how you fit it. What do I think about black love, and do you think it's dying? No, I think black love is thriving and going strong. And I think black love is a wholly black American concept. And that it's promulgating, whatever that word is doing that through the whole entire world, right? That we are black love. And I think it depends on what's on your timeline. I'm friends with a lot of people that are in very healthy relationships. So my timeline is full of couples doing the damn thing, different shade ranges, everyone getting that good love. You know, people are flourishing, people are putting in the work, people are redefining what partnership and relationships mean for them. That's what my time looks like. I know that's not for everyone. I don't watch a lot of reality TV anymore, so there's that as well. I think sometimes, you know, and you know, since getting in a relationship, one thing that did follow me into a relationship was the negativity from Twitter, and realizing that like all those hypotheses, if he does this and she do that and I ain't fit to do this and yada yada yada, like we do really absorb all that stuff, and it really does color your perception. And so to meet someone who defied a lot of what I had absorbed on Twitter, I had to do the work to untether myself from all that shit. But no, I think black love, I do think I think we have a class issue in America, and I think there are certain people that do not have the access, equity, and privilege that I myself have or my peers have, and we have to do the work to figure out ways of deconstructing these barriers to opportunity for everyone. Thank you, Baptiste Braxton. I appreciate it. Y'all have a whole conversation. So I'm like, where we at? What's after 90 days? What's guaranteed satisfaction? I don't know. Um. Okay, I did do a whole get ready with me. Yes, you are right, Popcorn 1304. Then I did a whole get ready with me about wanting to work on my feminine energy. We're gonna have about, how long have we been on this live? About 20 something minutes. I'm going, or 35 minutes. So I'm gonna get 5 more minutes because I gotta get ready to get to the movies. But I did a whole video about wanting to work on my feminine energy, and I think a lot of the questions on the video were, what do you define as feminine energy? Because I don't know if I did a good job of that, I guess, maybe. I don't remember. You know, and I think that video, I have been watching Sade Watkins, who's one of my faves, and I think she has I really appreciate, like, her feminine aura. And it's not so much about, like, aesthetic for me, and I think I touch on that in the video, because I don't want it to be about, and this is not shit, because I know certain discussions have popped up, certain YouTubers, y'all always talking about, and nothing to do with anyone else, but for me, femininity, at that point, when I did the video back in the wintertime, was not about, you know, a veneer, right? Not about what I could add to myself materially, but about what I was invoking internally, about being confident with myself, about not feeling like I always had to declare or explain who I was and what I was coming in the room with, about having a level of compassion, and understanding and open-mindedness and ease with who I was. And I think it's coming along. It's an active work, but for me, femininity and harnessing my feminine energy was much more about having the quiet confidence and pride in myself to always be good with myself. Does that make sense? Thank you, Jennifer. Did I say thank you? No, I didn't. Thank you, Jennifer. Shout out to you. And ha, 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 ha. Love you and your content. Any tips for dating in DC? All right, after this, I'm going to answer 2 more questions, and then we're going to be out. Dating in DC. Whew, girl. My tips for dating anywhere. Be good with you. Who do you want to be? Are you the person you want to be? Are you where you at? What are you working on? What do you desire to be, and what do you actually have the means and the control and the access and the equity to evolve into or to change, right? Without it relying on external changes. And maybe we can all afford to dress better, but not just better in one standard, but, you know, just be cleaner in general. Like, am I taking care of myself in a way that I can be proud of? Not because I need someone to respond to me, but am I, y'all, like, even, like, you know, because when you get depressed, you stop brushing your teeth and bathing and stuff, right? So, like, you know, am I taking the healthy care of myself? Am I eating right for me? Am I getting rid of the toxins in my body? Am I making myself feel good about myself? And am I walking through the room with that, giving myself the ability to walk through the room with a pride in myself? And then you will attract who you attract. I think in DC, you definitely have to just be careful that it's a city built on who you know and what people can do for you. So just be careful of, you know, be vigilant of how people are lying to you, of what people, you know, I think you do have to be a little bit more mindful of how people promote themselves and talk and whether people are really who they say they are. All right. So, Saleya, thank you. Thank you, Taylor. And thank you, Sakina, again. So both of their questions were, Saleya and Sakina, what helped me through my depression and how did I get out of my depression? I took Wellbutrin. I took medicine. Went to therapy. But I took medicine. Because therapy is hard to, like, everyone doesn't find a good therapist. Everyone can't afford a therapist. And not to say that the medication is a solvent or a panacea or, you know, gets rid of everything. But I really enjoyed taking Wellbutrin because it wasn't like it was like a small tick. It was a very small, like, that's how I can describe it. So I never felt like I was relying on it. It was very easy for me to get off of it. But it was so amazing how much of a could change the progression of my whole day. Like, all I needed was that I've been meditating. Um, talking more with my friends. You know, people calling you, asking you how you doing. It's not, oh, I'm good. Nah, I'm fucked up right now. Like, real talk. I don't really feel like talking about it, but give me a moment, let me process it, and, like, you know, I'll hit you up and we can have a discussion. Right? Like, just being more articulate about what I'm, you know, journaling. For some of us, depression really is a chemical compounding, though. Like, are things triggering us, or is it hormones? Is it the chemical makeup of our body? You know, yeah, we can slightly change our diet. Yes, we can eat better things. Yes, taking vitamin D and taking certain vitamins have definitely helped. But I think the biggest help was doing that Wellbutrin, and I did it consistently for about 5 months, and then kind of tinkered off of it. But, you know, talk to your healthcare professional. There is that. Okay, I think we've gotten most of the questions. Let me know as we close this out. Did y'all like this? I think doing an Ask Jouelzy is like Pop Snark. I'm gonna try and commit to doing at least once a month because I don't need to let it go for so long without again. And it's either gonna be for right now. It's gonna be a live until we can roll it into a podcast. We're working on that. Um, but I think this live thing we can do. We can definitely do. We can schedule this. This is a breeze. This is great. I enjoy keying with y'all. I enjoy just having a discussion, and clearly I enjoy talking. I'm a talker. Um, but thank you for all the donations. Thank you for everyone for joining in with me. Let me know, one, if you're watching this video after the fact that you can't participate in the live chat, or you're still commenting anyway. Let me know if you would like me to keep this up and what times work. You know, is there a time during the day where I could possibly do this? You know, I want to think the fact that I do have an international audience. So, you know, giving me times that we can kind of play around with this. And we can do this again. We can do another Ask Jouelzy. Thank y'all for the love. I'm logging off. Have a great weekend. Be productive. And I got the glow up video series is finna happen, all right? Holla later. Deuces.